Okay, let's talk a little bit about that from my notes. If we have to go to specific incidents, this is where a little bit of faith in your intuition comes into play. As you reflect back on that age during your life, things will come to mind, okay? Now, be sure when these things come to mind that I set aside my opinion on this issue right now before you pull on that bar, okay? And so be sure to use Cue Card TB3 and as always, speak it emphatically like you really mean it, like feel it within your, you know, in your core, within your gut, within your heart, okay? And if you need to go to specific incidents with an inherited emotion, okay, that's when we really need to ramp up our faith in our intuition, because information is stored many different ways, okay? We are now beginning to understand that information is stored at an energy level, okay? Not just in a part of our brain, but rather on an energetic level. And so there's a part of you, okay? There is a part of you that knows the incident that caused that inherited emotion, okay? And so if you allow your intuition to lead you, and you've been working on your intuition as you've been doing muscle testing, it will correctly lead you down the path, okay? However, there are some times when we're working on trapped emotions and we give it our good old college try, you know, we try and use it and we can't locate any more information. We keep getting, no, it's not this, no, it's not that. And so when you reach that point of where you've given it your go and you're still getting no's, then go back and test that statement again in number 9 or in number 10. I need to know more information about that trapped emotion. And what you may find is that when you retest that statement, by all of your delving into it down below, it may be enough has been exposed, even though you didn't get a yes, that statement that I need to know more information about this trapped emotion will turn into a no, even though you didn't identify the particular incident, okay, or the particular relation of that inherited emotion, okay? Let's see if I have any other notes about that. Yes. Okay. Other than this is that relying on intuition is really a discipline of the mind, okay? And it's kind of like the childhood story of the little engine that could, right? You keep your faith strong. I can do it. I think I can. I think I can. And then it creates the outcome of that success. So remember, intuition is not a gift. It's a discipline of the mind. And everybody can exercise that muscle. And the more we exercise it, the better we get at it. Okay, so now we are down to the point of where we are clearing the emotion. Number 11 says, use the magnet to clear that trapped emotion. So when we are doing self-clearing, because there's not another person around, thank God we don't have to have another person around. We got our handy-dandy little bar here. What that means is that we can't run the magnet down the spine like it's talked about in the Emotion Code book. But what we can do is we can start from the forehead, which some people call the third eye, and then go over the top of the head, and some people call this the crown or the crown chakra, and then over the back of the neck and down to the nape of the neck and clear it that way. And we pass that 3 times. And you'll notice that in the example, I close my eyes, and what I'm visualizing as I close my eyes is I'm visualizing this energy now exposed, and I'm clearing it, actually whisking it away. And so what that does is, in my mind at least, it increases the stimulus, and it increases through the power of our intention. And for those of you who are sensitive to energy, you may even actually be able to feel that energy as you're whisking it away, and that magnet is sucking it up with whatever it does. It's amazing, isn't it, how something like a little magnet can be so powerful. And yet we know through those testimonials, especially around the animals, where there's no placebo effect, there's no intention of the mind being used, those animals don't even know what's going on, and yet we know that something as simple as a magnet can clear it. And again, my gratitude to Dr. Nelson and his wonderful work that he's done. Oh, also another thing about magnets. One of the other things in talking with Dr. Nelson, he mentioned to me is that whereas his book showcases Nikken magnets, and I was using a Nikken magnet because I'm a great fan of Nikken magnets, you don't necessarily have to use a Nikken magnet. You can use pretty much just any old regular refrigerator magnet will do the job just fine. So whatever you have, go ahead and use that. Okay, and once we have gone through that 3 times, then we're going to go down to statement number 12. And again, we want you to stay tuned into your baseline. So you're going to check your baseline again. And the next statement is, I have cleared this trapped emotion. And most of the time, the trapped emotion will clear the first time. If you get a no, simply repeat the clearing process. So even if you don't have somebody around to pass it down the spine, and this may not be quite as complete, what I found is that in most cases it will clear the first time, but sometimes you do have to go through it a couple of times. So when we test that statement, we will always know if we've done it well enough. And another thing that I've found is that when I have this focused intention on clearing the emotion, it will clear the first time. But I noticed that if my attention flags for whatever reason, I lose my focus on what I'm doing, that I have to go back in and do that again. So I think that speaks a little bit to the value of the power of our thinking and our intention as we're clearing the emotion. Okay, what else? Okay, so we have now cleared that trapped emotion, and let's take a look at the flow of what happens after that. Going down to number 13. I have another trapped emotion related to my priority, which in this case, my priority was a heart wall that I can release now. If you get a yes, then you proceed all the way back to number 2 and start to release another trapped emotion. Otherwise, you're going to go to below if you get a no. So if you get a no, the next statement you make is, I have more trapped emotions related to the heart wall that I can release another day. And you'll get a yes or no on that. If you get a yes, then you proceed to I below.